and thanks for joining us. I'm Kayla Holt. We start tonight with a young woman whose future was put on hold as she recovered from a rare illness. With the help of her care team at Community Regional Medical Center, she's now moving forward with a bright new optimism and appreciation for life.
The staff here at Community is truly my second family. And it's one thing to be a talented healthcare professional, but it's another thing to be a compassionate and selfless human being.
This is Khushmeen Dhother. This past December, she was the featured speaker at a special event held at Community Regional for patients whose lives were saved by ECMO therapy.
I find myself now being the luckiest person in the world, because how lucky are we to be able to get to live on and tell our stories.
2 years ago, Khushmeen had just graduated college and was ready to start her first teaching job when she suddenly became very ill.
I started experiencing severe body aches, like body pain that I've never experienced before. I woke up screaming and crying to my parents that I was in so much pain that I couldn't move. But then within those 2 weeks, I was coughing up blood.
Her parents rushed her to the hospital, but her situation quickly worsened.
My second night, I went into respiratory failure. Kind of overnight. And that's when they diagnosed me with GPA vasculitis.
The vasculitis she has is affecting her lung.
Dr. Mohamed Fayed is an associate clinical professor at UCSF, Fresno's Pulmonary Critical Care Department.
It's inflammation of some of the vessels, and these vessels sometimes is the vessels of the lung. But then once they start hemorrhaging their lung, this is when they get really sick.
Dr. Fayed and the care team put her on a life-saving machine called ECMO.
ECMO is a machine that takes patients' blood out and put it in a machine to remove carbon dioxide, put oxygen on, and put it back to the patient.
When someone is as sick as Khushmeen, the ECMO machine gives the lungs time to rest and recover, enough time for the body to heal.
We give her medication, she got better, and therefore we come off ECMO.
The improvement was only momentary. They found more hemorrhaging and more inflammation. The only thing they could do was place her on ECMO once more.
In our team, our rate of needing ECMO after removing ECMO is extremely uncommon. And then when we come off, in a matter of 1 or 2 days, we realize that her lung is still inflamed, she's still needing oxygen, she's still not doing well on a ventilator, and therefore we went back on.
On this round, enough time led to enough healing, and they were able to successfully wean her off the machine.
Dr. Fayed was so incredible. You can just tell they had determination anytime they spoke to my family members. No, she is going to be okay, and we're going to make sure that we do everything that we can in our power to make sure she is.
Once off the machine, the difficult recovery process began.
Being a young 21-year-old and not being able to take a shower by yourself, having to learn how to walk again, having to learn how to, even just breathe again, and building that strength up was really, really difficult.
However, she says it was her family's grace and the patience and compassion she received from her care team that kept her going.
I was never alone in the hospital. Even the staff and the nurses would sit by my side and just encourage me and give me pep talks. So I told myself there was something that I was fighting for.
Now, 2 years later, she's feeling good and picking her life up where she left off.
I'm teaching. I work at a middle school in Central Unified, and I'm pretty much back to my normal life activities. I can run, work out, exercise, dance, all the things. And looking back at it, I never thought I was going to be able to, do what I'm doing today.
Now she's experiencing life with more excitement. Even the little things feel like a gift.
Every single time I see fireworks now, I'm sobbing or I'm crying. And, I think back to that point in my life when I was hospitalized, where I was watching fireworks out of a hospital bed, in the ICU.
Despite the adversity she's been hit with, she considers herself incredibly lucky to feel this way, thanks to everyone who was with her on this journey.
The team over in the ICU staff at Community Regional they're my family now.
We want to make sure that all these patients, when they are outside in the community, they don't really struggle. And we need to make sure they have the support, whether medical support or social support. That's why we have the reunion.
If there's one thing that I've learned through this experience, is that life is fragile and precious. We're often stronger than we believe, especially when we have the right people by our side. I hope my story serves as a reminder to never take a single moment for granted Every breath that we take is a gift, and I'll spend the rest of my life making the most of it. Thank you, everyone.